You are tuned in to Real People with Real Opinions. We are the Let's Get Canceled podcast. I am the voice. I'm the voice of the people. I'm here to speak for you all.
And I'm Big Tech Dog, your favorite friendly, lovable loudmouth. Hey, yo, cousin,
What up, cousin?
you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get canceled.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So tonight's episode, we're gonna touch on a particular topic. I know it's taboo to a lot of folks, but a lot of folks deal with it. So we're gonna go into a serious topic tonight. We're gonna still be ourselves. We're gonna still give it to you guys raw. We're gonna give it to you funny. We're gonna give it to you real. We're gonna deal with mental health on this particular episode, and mental health is something that it hits a lot of us. It hits a lot of us, damn near all of us actually. It hits all of us. All of us have our struggles. So we will be doing a dive into this. We are black men, so you will get it from a black male perspective on that topic. We're gonna bring in a friend of the show. She Speaks Solutions. You see the shirt here that I have on. They're a mental health advocacy group out of Florida. So we'll be bringing on the president, director of She Speaks Solutions on to have a discussion with us. They have some really big things going on in the mental health world, the Worldwide Mental Health Day that they're going to be having at St. Leo's and at FAMU in Tallahassee. So we'll be bringing them on today, but we're just going to go ahead and get into the topic here. And cousin worked at some facilities and has dealt with some people with some mental health concerns. So he's going to carry the day today. But cousin, how you feeling? That's where we're gonna start. How you feeling?
You know what? I'm feeling all right, man. I feel like a black man, and that carries a whole lot.
It
Yeah,
always does.
I'm gonna be real with you. And most black men, if you hear this, you let me know if I'm on point or not. I feel like I got the weight of the world on my shoulders. I feel like it's dangerous and it could be very detrimental to my health to act the way that I would want to act. But I'm also hopeful, and I'm also very glad that I have my black woman, I have my black cousin, I got my black friends who can understand what I'm going through and help me through this situation. So, because I am that, and because I feel that way, it's good that you got your friend on tonight, man. A friend of the show that can really help us talk through some of this stuff, explain maybe some of the questions that we may have, and also try and help us clean up this mess, man. Because we were looking at the stats a little bit ago, and this is ridiculous, man. The amount of people who are attempting and committing suicide, it gets bad. So I think our guest is in the waiting room, and so I'm not even going to wait around. I'm going to go ahead and invite her in here. She's ready to go. We're really appreciative that she decided to take out of her time to come and help us out tonight, talk to us about this serious subject. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, big round of applause for our special guest, Miss Teena.
Hey, Tina.
Hi, everybody.
So go ahead and introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. You see, I'm repping. See, I'm
All
repping.
all right, I see you. I see we got She Speaks Solutions in the house this evening. Thank you so much for inviting us to be a part of Let's Get Canceled. I am the advocate, the collaborator, the educator of all things mental health. Our objective and who I am is to break the stigma behind mental health and mental health matters. And it is near and dear to my heart to be in our marginalized, diverse communities to allow us more resources to deal with our day to day mental health and mental health matters. That is me. Thank you for allowing me to join you tonight.
No problem. So what was the thing? What was the catalyst that got you into this particular space?
To be honest, the lack of conversation, the lack of knowledge, the biggest piece was realizing when I lost my mom that I had been living a lie all my life. And she was the catalyst, the pivot, the aha moment that allowed me to understand not only do I need to find a space to address mental health and the challenges that we face on a day to day, especially just being in a diverse space, but not so much of the outside, but even on the inside of our community. Um, I feel like the biggest piece that caught me was that all the people I loved and love continue to lie about or hide or avoid or to neglect or to pretend as if there was not something quite right. Not that it was wrong, but just not quite right. They didn't even want to identify. It wasn't even a topic. You can't tell me my mom won't take her medicine and pretend like it's Tylenol, a leave, and she's determined not to take it. You should have said to me, there are things that we don't understand, and your mom may be challenged with what we call life, right?
Right.
How hard is that to just say that? That's the truth, right? Everybody just doesn't deal with life the same way. So, in my own space, the people that love me most, it wasn't a conversation. So, for me, when I had that moment, it snapped. And I was not only forced to identify with it, I was placed in a dark space because of being aware, being in it, and having to understand that no one could really give me guidance on this. I had to be able to tap into me. Now, not
And
that I did it alone, not saying that, people. I'm saying tapping into me to identifying and being aware that there was a problem.
that some help was needed.
And
And one of those things in our community is we don't find the safe spaces. There
Right.
are resources out there, but we don't always see them as safe spaces. So
exactly.
what you've done is you've created a safe space for people that look like us.
I've,
You
I don't say I created, I have put a place where there's opportunity to be aware, right? I've
mm,
put together a place where we could be aware, right? I really believe that a lot of what it is that we just don't quite know what it is.
Mm.
Right. In order to address it, you first got to know what it is. The first thing about having a problem is identifying or admitting that you have a problem. But what if you don't even know that that's a problem?
right,
Wow.
right.
So I created that.
Yeah, and what you've also done is realize that there's more than one way to get to the
Yes,
solution.
sir. I
Because a
said,
lot
I
of
had
us
a,
have that problem is we listen to certain people and they say, "Oh, this is how you deal with that," and that's the only way that they know. So that's the only way that they attack it. And
Right.
from the discussions that you and I have had, there are multiple ways that you're attempting to attack this. So expand on that a bit.
so we're all different. Nobody's the same. So how I deal with anger and how you deal with anger and how I deal with anxiety or sadness, I feel like what I've provided is an opportunity for people to be aware, a place for them to experience things they don't have access to. In my community, it was a time where yoga was not a conversation.
Right.
um, Now I feel like it's more than just the fad behind mental health or the conversation that one wants to have, but what I have really connected to is the modalities, the alternative ones. So making sure that spending time at the beach, being able to go and golf, having an opportunity to plant flowers in a garden, cooking. I mean, I like to eat. I don't care what anybody says. My favorite thing to do that makes me happy is eating. I didn't say cooking. I said eating.
Now we Now we're in my lane. That's what I'm talking about.
right? So how is that not a part of me being able to say, okay, what makes me happy in this moment? Now that there are ways to abuse that, don't get me wrong. But in this moment, I feel good because I am enjoying this banana split with extra whipped cream on top. You can't tell me that's a bad thing just because.
You got a kindred spirit over there.
Yes, sir. So listen, I have a question because I don't know how much you know. I've got a background working in mental health. Um,
Okay.
I spent probably 10, 12 years in facilities, primarily focused on adolescents and young
Mm,
adults. And so I've seen some stuff. And admittedly,
absolutely.
I went in with preconceived notions. I thought these kids are just bad. They need this or they need that. If they would have got their butt whooped when they was little, then I had those same probably cultural assumptions about mental health. I was able to, someone close to me, very close to me and my family, was Baker acted. And at that time, I had no idea what a Baker Act was. And the feeling of walking into a behavioral hospital and seeing someone that I care about deeply in handcuffs being brought in by cops and then told she can't go anywhere for the next 72 hours. That kind of struck me. So, how do we culturally, how do we get out of this mindset that ain't nothing wrong with him, he just crazy, or ain't nothing wrong with her, she just need her behind whoop?
Well, there are multiple ways to kind of look at that. I think a lot of that, again, is about knowledge, right? Um, for someone like me, I grew up in that cycle. Every 90 days, I was in a mental health facility watching people come in and out and thought that was normal, really. Um, um, so my exposure for mental health, what crazy is identified is totally different than your perspective, right? Because I grew up in it.
Right,
So I believe the exposure of how we treat those who deal with mental health and mental health challenges, bipolarism, schizophrenia, anxiety, depression. I guarantee you, if you talk about diabetes enough, you learn what it takes to eat right, right? You
right,
understand when you go to the doctor and they do an eye test. When you were 15, your vision was 20/20. It has now changed and you need glasses. So just like we go through those knowledge checkpoints and opportunities to improve our health on a basic level, we have to look at mental health the exact same way. And it requires us to learn more, to expose ourselves to better methods. There are other populations that go away to Costa Rica to deal with bipolarism. They're not handcuffed, right? There
right.
are other populations that go on a yacht for a week and decide that that is going to be their escape. If we can't get, I'm just going to change my mentality conversation, reparations for what was done,
Come on.
then why can't we at least get some resources to overcome what's been done?
Wow. You just said a whole mouthful. You said a whole mouthful. And
Yes, you did.
what's funny is that I I got a chance to be a part of the this was years ago. I want to say 2014, 2015. It was the University of South Florida Trauma Informed Care Collaborative.
Mm,
And we went in depth and we were a part of creating this system to deal with people who are suffering from mental health issues due to trauma. And one of the things that I learned that really stuck out to me was the fact that trauma informs our behavior. And
mm,
if you ask anybody, every behavior, whether it's looked at as good, bad, or other, is an attempt to meet a need. And if you find out what that need is, then you can circumvent some of that
You can change the behavior.
Right. Right.
And on top of that, it takes little changes, little behavioral changes
Hmm.
to make big impacts.
Right. Most definitely.
If I want to lose weight, it's not going to happen today. Trust me, I just tried.
I was going to
I
say,
got
what about
I
me?
woke up this morning was like, you know what? Today I'm gonna lose 50 pounds. And do you know that it
right.
did not work?
It did not work, dude. I promise it did not work.
I tried and
So,
tried. Them
and
tacos
I'm
never
only
did
here
help.
that part. None of this banana split is a part of that plan. So,
Right.
so,
Fit the
so the
banana.
truth is, it's little steps. It's little steps, and it's consistency, and it's consistent conversation. I am so glad that there are more conversations being had. I struggle now because there is a passion behind mental health, but there is also a the only word I can come up with is fad, right? It's
Oh,
everybody's conversation, but they don't genuinely understand what it means to make this change. On top of that, you got people who want to manipulate the knowledge. And now every time I turn around, I'm supposed to be able to get something. No, no. The objective is to be a successful, viable, quality product in society,
right.
right? Like we raise our children to do that. We all have our own challenges, but our objective is to ultimately, I think, holistically create a world of, I don't know, everybody's world is different, but for me, a world of peace, happiness, clarity, opportunity. That's what I'm looking for. I can't speak for everybody, but I think that that's what my concept of success represents, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And with mental health, if you look at it for all that its facets are available for, it is really easy to get lost and misguided. But if we could just find a way to make it a priority like we do cancer, right? If we could just pivot it and really give us an opportunity to learn more about what it takes to live with it, right? And we
Mm.
live with diabetes, we live with high blood pressure, then it gives us a better perspective, a better resource. I could get medical resources more effectively. The government would utilize more in our health services. We could get practitioners who will want to be more educated to explore more for better methods for preventative versus reactive.
And that's always the key is you want to take care of it before it becomes that big of a problem. And I see that this weekend you have an event going on, correct?
Facts. We need you guys to come out, support, sponsor, join in. We have Worldwide Mental Health Day, which is an amazing opportunity to go out to the campuses in the Tampa area on October 10th and in the Tallahassee area on October 14th. This is a World Health Organization national opportunity or event that represents acknowledging mental health and mental health matters across the board. And at the event, we have, of course, alternative modalities. So, yoga, meditation, art therapy, music therapy. We have snow cones, popcorn. We have uh, exercise therapy. We have spoken word. We have all that we could possibly provide
So this is an
that will.
opportunity for people who are used to the one way of doing it. Go sit on somebody's couch, go talk to somebody. You'll find out there are other alternatives out there that you can
Exactly.
take advantage of and find what actually fits you, as opposed to you just uh, going in and doing the one way that is the norm for other folks. Because again, as you were saying before, everybody doesn't need the same thing. So you can go out here and actually find something that fits and helps you a little bit better. So for these events, what are you needing from the public?
From the public, we need sponsorships. Please feel free to go to our website. Right now, St. Leo is our primary sponsor in the Tampa Bay area, and Florida A&M picked us up this year for the Tallahassee area. So we need vendors. We need a few more modalities. We're running out of modality space. But if you're interested in being a vendor, we definitely want to provide a space where students can learn about your resources, mental health counselors, therapeutic resources, and even the community resources as vendors. Come on out, go to the shespeaksolutions.com website and sign up. And any questions can be answered through there as well. As a sponsor, we will be putting and promoting you on our website, social media outlets, as well as within the local city area. So it's a great opportunity to let people know about your services and resources for mental health.
Wow.
Indeed. So everybody, like all of these social media locations, go follow, reach out to She Speaks Solutions, sign up, do everything you can. They can register on the website, correct?
Yes, we have an Eventbrite and we also have our website again, shespeaksolutions.com. And you will either select the FAMU location or the St. Leo location. Come out, enjoy. It's free and a day for you to just really relax, relate, release.
Definitely appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else you want to tell the people before you get out of here? I know I see you sitting in the car. I know you need to get somewhere, so I'm gonna let you get going. We do apologize for the lateness of the hour, lady, but hey, life happens.
Listen, for the
Extensive life happens.
people, you matter, we matter, your mental health matters. Put it first, make it a priority, and I guarantee you, you will see a change in you and the things that you want in life.
Wow.
Well,
That's it.
thank you again, Ms. Teena. She Speaks Solutions, the boss. That's my other boss right there. That's my other boss right there.
I
You got a lot
appreciate
of
you. I
bosses.
appreciate you.
Yes, indeed. I'll be in contact soon.
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for having me. And I look forward to picking your brain a little bit more. 16
Oh,
years in the industry says we need to talk.
Indeed.
because you're on deck. You're on deck.
You guys
I
be
love
safe.
it.
Have a good
All
one.
right,
Thank
love it.
you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. That's my She Speaks boss, the president, and she's doing a great thing. So again, if you're in the Tampa Bay area, St. Leo's on October 10th, FAMU, y'all know to come out support. They're gonna have a lot of things going on out there. Some Zumba, some some yoga classes, art therapy, putting up your mural, all types of things going on. So you guys definitely come on out to either the 10th or the 14th if you're in one of those particular areas. So yeah, cousin, man, like she was saying, there's a stigma around the mental health thing,
It
and
definitely is.
and one thing that I mentioned to you before that I was going to bring up, and I figure I may as well get into it now, is the way we grew up. We
Yep.
are church kids at the heart,
Absolutely.
and the one thing that we were mostly told is you don't need to go see nobody, you need to talk to God more.
Right.
And I understand where they were coming from. However, sometimes you need to go talk to somebody.
Here's the problem, bro. What happens is if I had diabetes, let's use
Hmm.
Tina's example. If I had
Yes,
diabetes, they would tell me to pray and take my medicine.
right.
If I had cancer, they tell me to pray and go see my oncologist.
Hmm.
If I got high blood pressure, they tell me to pray and do what my doctor told me to do.
But if I'm depressed,
If I'm
they go sick.
depressed, it's a demon and I need prayer.
Right.
That is the dumbest thing. The dumbest thing. And I'm going to tell you why it's stupid.
Y'all thought it was gonna be me. Y'all thought it was gonna be me.
No,
All right, go
no,
ahead.
no,
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 no.
no. It's
Keep it funky.
stupid
Keep it funky.
because if I believe and I am a firm believer in God. I'm in church every week, multiple times a week. Don't judge me on what you heard the last few shows. I'm in church all the time. And I work in the church. The problem is if I couldn't believe that God will guide the hands of the surgeon, of the doctor, of the nurse. Why can't he guide the hand of the psychiatrist or the psychologist or the therapist?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Right. But that's something that is one of those black church things. I don't think that's an every church thing. I think that's a black church thing. And I think
Yeah,
that comes from black folks not trusting the man. I think that's where that all stems from. It's like we don't trust anything on that particular level. Why would you go talk to somebody else? Same as they would say about talking to the priest. Why would you go talk to another man about your problem? You can
true.
go directly to God. So why is it that if you have a mental problem, if you're depressed, if you're sad, why not just go talk to God instead of trying to figure out having somebody to bounce those ideas off of? Just go talk to God, and God will show you the way.
Time.
Like again, I understand what their thought process is, but it still does not hold water when it comes to the need. And now you go talk to the pastor about it. Well, the pastor is not.
He's not
He hasn't been.
equipped. He's not
He,
qualified.
he's not been educated on these particular things and has not seen them all. So if I have somebody who has studied this and how to get it fixed, why wouldn't I go to the professional for that? I wouldn't ask my pastor to come and fix a drip in my sink.
Say
So
that again.
why would I ask him to come and fix a drip in my brain? There's something going on in my head that may need medication. I may need to speak with someone. I may just need to go and puff a joint every now and again just to relax my mind and get my mind off of whatever else it is. And they just pray. How many times have you sat there and started praying, and the next thing you know, your mind is everywhere? You got to circle back, like, my bad, God, I'm sorry.
Right.
And,
Oh,
you
my
sit
bad,
there,
Lord. Oops.
right? You try to pray, and as soon as you get up in the morning, you end up falling back asleep. You wake up like, where was I? You try to pray before you go to sleep at night. You end up waking up in the middle of the night, like, okay, that was damn, I messed that one up. All right, I'm gonna come back to you, and we're gonna get back there. But sitting there and having somebody that you can speak to and give your attention to and get that immediate feedback, I think that is something that we as Black people, we don't trust the system enough to take that stigma off of what mental health disorders can be,
It
and
has
then we end up in
become.
the hospitals.
It has become. It's an extension of that old thing. Every one of us, probably. I don't want to pretend like we're all the same, but every one of
Right,
us, just about, had that talk where what goes on in this house
stays in
stays
this.
in this house. And because we've done that, a lot of the things that are causing this discomfort mentally is things that are going on in the house.
Right,
We can't
right,
talk about Uncle Jojo touching you because that's in that. Just,
right,
well, you know what? We'll keep him away from you. Yeah, but what about the 13 times before that y'all
right.
couldn't keep him away from you?
I told you not to go over there with him.
Right. And so now we get into the whole blame game. And
Right.
so because those things go on in the home, and it,
And those deep family secrets that
right,
nobody wants to talk about.
right.
It
And
starts to weigh on everybody in the family and everybody in a different way, because some of us we just can't stand keeping the secret. Like, why do I have to hold on to this secret? And it is eating me alive on the inside, and I just need somebody to talk to let them know this isn't right. Because when I come and talk to you all about it, you dismiss it.
right.
So there has to be somebody else that I can speak to in regards to this. If not, you start to self-medicate and you start to do the harsher drugs. You
Right.
start to drink way more than you actually should, because you don't have a way to release some of this stuff that's on the inside of you.
The problem is I feel like everybody thinks they know what's best. And let's be honest. If I go home right now, my wife is a nurse. If I go home and I say I got a headache, she knows I got blood pressure issues. So
Mm-hmm.
she's going to take my blood pressure because she knows that this could be a part of it. If my blood pressure is fine, I might just have a regular headache. She's going to ask me questions. Did you eat? What did you have when the last time you ate? Well, you've been drinking water. You've been doing this. You've been doing that. She's going to dig. And
Right.
then, after all of the information has been gathered, she's going to give me something to help alleviate the pain, which is only a symptom. It's a
Right.
symptom of what happened, what's going on. So if my blood pressure's up, she's gonna give me my blood pressure medication. But my blood pressure's only up because I'm not eating right or I'm not exercising, whatever it is. Those are only symptoms. What people don't understand is when I'm depressed or I have anxiety, these are symptoms of
Of
something
something.
else. And I'm don't claim to be a doctor. I'm not a doctor. This let's go ahead and say this now. This is not a replacement for you to talk to somebody. This is
No,
not.
go
I am
talk to
not giving you
somebody. I don't
any
care. Go talk
information.
to somebody. This is
Right.
not even a replacement. No, this is an advocacy for you to go and see some. Go get help. Don't listen to those people who say you don't need it. Go get help.
Go find somebody
That's
with some
that's
letters behind
that's
their
my
name.
disclaimer for the night. Go
Right.
get help.
Yo, listen. I tell people all the time, like, because when I worked in the behavioral hospital, right, I would be there, and the kids felt comfortable talking to me.
Hmm.
I can't stand that doctor. I can't stand that therapist, but I'll talk to you. Wrong dude, wrong dude, wrong dude. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you what I feel, but I'm
Right.
always gonna lead you back to somebody with some letters because that MD, LMHC, all that stuff. Them the ones who went to school for all this.
The
So you
other
might say
alphabet
something.
movie.
You might say something that makes them think, okay, so now they know which avenue to take. That being said, I got to say, I had a doctor at the behavioral hospital that I worked at, and he would prescribe medications like every other doctor. But I would talk to some of these kids, and where we go, we'd have a what is it called? It was like a care team meeting. So in
Mm.
this meeting, every week there was the doctor, the therapist, me as a tech, the nurse, and we would all sit around and talk about this particular patient. Um, what we thought, what was going on. The doctor would say, okay, well, I put them on X milligrams of this prescription a week ago. And the nurse would say, we've been giving it on time, blah, 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 blah. The therapist would say, and we've been talking, and this is what we've been discussing in therapy or whatever. And then I would be like, well, in groups, this is how they're responding. On a day to day, this is what they're doing. That doctor would say, okay, based on that feedback, here's what I need to prescribe or what I need to do. But to his credit, I'm not a big proponent for a bunch of pills, but I'm
Right.
also not a doctor. So
Right.
I'm not that dude. But what I could tell the doctor is like, hey, if you're thinking of just bumping this up by 5 milligrams, before you adjust that medication, give me 3 more days to work one on one with this kid to try and see if we can talk through some stuff and I can get them to open up more to the therapist. And then I turn it over to them. And he would give me that 2 or 3 days as long as it wasn't going to be like a medical issue. If
Right.
he's just going, let's just see if this works, he'll he would defer to letting to see if I work more than
And
if just to see if the
and
medication
you
works.
could actually be an advocate for those particular kids
Right,
sense.
right. And
They have
that's
an
what
advocate that they can actually I will actually talk to you because I fucks with you. I
right,
don't like them. So now you can be an advocate for me. Hey, this is what they're telling me. This is what they're experiencing, and then you can make an informed decision based on that.
right. And the good thing was is that because they trusted me and they believed me, I was just straight up with them. I got kids right now, and I can't be specific for obvious reasons,
Right.
but I've got kids right now who are adults now. They're adults now because I haven't worked at that behavioral hospital in Lord, in 10 years. Well, not 10 years. It hasn't been 10 years. Probably like 7 years. I haven't worked there in 6, 7 years. So these are adults now. They came to me when they were 12, 13, 14.
Right.
They're now 18, 19, 20 years old. And they'll message me on Facebook or they'll find me. Is this Mr. Alvin from such and such a facility? Who is this?
Who are
You
you?
know what I'm saying? But they're like, hey, we just want to let you know that I'm doing good. I stopped cutting myself. Um, I don't do this. I don't do that. I'm not running here. I'm not doing that. And I'll just send them back a message like, I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. Are you following such and such? Are you going to your doctors? Are you taking your medication like you should? Are you
Hmm.
going to do stuff like that? And if they are, great. If they're not, that's pretty much the end of that conversation. I encourage them to go talk to a therapist, but I can't be the replacement for your therapist.
Right.
That's that's unethical. It's not ethical for me to be like, okay, well, I've been around it long enough, so I know enough. I don't. I don't. Things change all the time.
And I know that I don't know anything.
Right.
Like I have a lot of people that I talk to that go through a lot of things, and I can give some great advice. But once it comes to your health, that's where I'll draw the line. Like, you know what? I'm not the person to talk to about this. I'm solutions driven for one. So one of the things I'm gonna do is tell you to go see a doctor. You need to go see somebody. Now you
Right.
got a problem with your old man, you got a problem with your old lady, holler at me. I can talk to you about that. But when it comes to you telling me like I want to die, one of my friends called me and was like, I just want to die today. And I'm like, this isn't the time for you to call me because I'm 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 good at a lot of things. I'm not good with that. I'm not
Right.
good with that. So that's one of the things. Hey, you want me to go with you to the doctor? I reached out to some folks. They were able to go and check themselves in. Ended up getting no realizing they hadn't taken their meds. I'm like, you're not right. So why would you take yourself off the meds? Well, I felt better. Well, and I don't like saying this, but this is what I say to my friends. Crazy people don't know they're crazy.
Yeah.
So if you and again, this is why I'm not the one to talk to because I'm not going to make you feel the best about it because I'm going to talk to you like I talk to my friends.
Right.
If you're crazy enough to need meds, you're never going to be sane enough to know that you don't need meds. So stick with your doctor, stick with the plan that they have for you. But yeah, we were able to get that friend checked into the facility. She was able to come out of that and seems to be okay back on the medications. But it's just one of those situations where I don't have it in me, and that's why I helped join in with Teena because I'm like I know I don't have it in me. So what are some of the things that we can do to advocate for some of these other folks?
But see,
So
that's the
being
step.
able to provide them with resources.
That's the step that a lot of people won't take because we spend a lot of time shunning people who are
Right.
different. And I have, I'll give you an example. I had a very close friend, who went through some things. He witnessed some things, or was close to someone that did something horrible. He was very close to someone who killed his wife. The
Mm,
the person that he was close to killed his wife, who he was also close to, and he was a preacher. The dude, the dude who killed the wife was a preacher.
right.
I got a message that apparently was a group message, and it was disturbing. And it was on Facebook Messenger, and it was referring to he was losing everything, and that it was the voice of God texting and reaching out to me. Okay, so I looked at it, and I told my wife, I said, I got to go check on him. He asked for a specific time for everyone to show up at his house.
Mm,
Now I know enough to know if it's off a little bit, and then you're going to give me a specific time. I'm not showing up at that time. I'll
right.
show up earlier, or I'll watch for what happens after that time. But I'm not coming at that time because I already
Mhm.
know it could be a plan for something else.
Right.
Don't know what.
Indeed.
I went early, and I met him at the door. But before I went to his door, I thought, and I went, oh, wait, I'm sorry. Rewind. I got a call from someone else who got the same message. And they asked me, had I spoken to him? And I said, no, but I think I'm going to go over and check him out in a little bit or whatever. Well, you know what's going on? And this person said, yeah, I do. Call me. And so we spoke on the phone, and that person was very concerned. And from
Hmm.
some of the things that she told me, I was concerned. So I drove over there right then. But before I went to his door, I picked up the phone. And this is another thing that y'all can all do. And I was nervous because this was another black man. But I called the non-emergency police number, and I asked for a CIT officer, crisis intervention team officer. These officers are trained to deal with mental health issues. Now, they are still police.
Mm-hmm.
And I was scared to death because I was either making a phone call to save my friend's life or to end my friend's life. That's how it
Potentially.
felt.
Yeah.
And luckily, that officer showed up. They talked to me first outside. There had been some interaction a few days before that. The officer would not do anything until I made moves. He allowed me to interact with my friend. He allowed me to step to him and kind of give him information on the side. Ultimately, that friend was admitted to a mental health facility, and he went through a whole lot of stuff. But I felt guilty because, again, as much as I know, with my background, with my history, I'm still a black church boy.
Right.
And part of me still was, and I was dealing with another church boy. Part of me still was just like, maybe I didn't pray hard enough. Maybe I did. Did I send messages to uncles? All my uncles are preachers. I sent messages to them like, pray for my friend.
Mm-hmm.
But one of my uncles, who's a preacher, was actually doing his Bible study time, was on mental health.
Got
He was
one.
like, and I said, hey, it's funny that you say that because this is what I'm going through with one of my friends. And they had a licensed mental health counselor who was in their Bible study, who was going through mental health in the church with them as a series. If more churches would do that,
Indeed.
maybe
In-
y'all would have more people than the three people you got on the pews. Nah, I said it. Because I'm sick of it, bruh. It's stupid. It's dumb.
We're
It's
gonna focus
dumb.
on them. We're gonna focus on them fully for one of these episodes. Oh,
Yeah,
just know that
absolutely.
that is coming. That is coming.
Yeah,
We are gonna focus on them fully, in depth. We know some things.
yeah.
We've seen some things. We've experienced some things. So we're gonna get on them a whole lot. And
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a
mhm.
question. Now, and I think we've alluded to it earlier, and I guess we're gonna go. I want to go ahead and dive into it here.
All right.
Alternative coping mechanisms. I like that.
Yes.
I think that's a good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
What is your take on alternative coping mechanisms?
Uh, don't do cocaine. I would say that don't do cocaine. It's not. That's not the one.
Why?
But because that has you know how cocaine is made. You know how they make
She
that.
don't lie. She don't lie. She don't lie. Cocaine. That's a real
No,
song.
that's gonna have your brain. That's gonna have your brain racing. You need
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that's gonna chill you out. And for me, like I never had any real mental health issues. Like for me, it was I got to a point where once things started bothering me, I was like, I learned to not give a single fuck. And that's where my life has been, and I've been great since then. Once I learned, like, I don't care. They don't like me, I don't care. Ain't nobody gonna hurt my feelings. Like my mother, like my family, I'm not even gonna put it on my mom because yeah. But my family said the worst things in the world to me. Like, there's nothing you can say to me in these streets that's gonna hurt my feelings worse than what they said to me. So I got to a point as a youth, like, give a fuck what nobody says. So that kind of helped me along the way. Some people say that is a mental health disorder that I just don't care, but I'll take that. I'll take that
It's
because I've gotten to a point where I learned, give me a joint and I can go hide in my corner somewhere and nothing. It gives me the same effect that some harsher drugs give other people. I'm able to relax myself, and it's not giving me all of those internal issues that the pills will. So
right.
I was able to find some alternative medication that allowed me to relieve some pains, relieve some stresses. When funds go low, okay, I think one of the comedians said there's a thing called fuck it in this joint.
Yep.
There's a thing called fuck it. You get to a point where it's like, yeah. And I found it I found it at 11 years old. So
And if
I've
you should just so happen to set it on fire,
been yeah. So it's just one of those things where it's like I found it early in life. So it's been 33 years that I have been that I, since I found that thing that actually made me feel better than going and taking a pill for anxiety or something like that that I've seen other people have to do. I
here's my
found,
problem.
uh-huh.
My problem with that. If I told you that let's go back to the headaches. I'm telling you, I'm having really bad headaches.
Mm-hmm.
You know my family history. You know my family
Mm-hmm.
history better than most. And I said, but every time I eat these two sugar cookies,
Mm-hmm.
the headache goes away. I feel better. So they say that your kidneys will be messed up if you take too much Tylenol and stuff. So instead of taking Tylenol, I'm eating these sugar cookies every time. It works for me.
Right.
Here's the problem with that. Remember I said there's always an underlying issue.
Uh-huh.
You don't get to just diagnose and medicate yourself, even if you're right. I don't listen, man. I am an advocate. I am an
Uh-huh.
advocate for cannabis
Yeah.
use
Because it
for
won't help.
medicinal
It won't
purposes.
work for everyone. It won't work for everyone.
But everyone who if everyone who had the same issues as you took the
Mm-hmm.
same steps as you did,
But then you have to deal with but then again, with everything is different for everybody.
right?
You got to learn how to cope with life the way I did, and you have to live the life I've lived, and it ain't for everybody. It's hard to get here. It's real hard to get to the point where nothing bothers you. It's really hard to get here. It's really hard to get here. You have to. There's a switch that gets flipped early on in life where you just cannot care
But that's a
about
problem.
that.
That's
That is a problem. That is a problem.
so. Here's my
But
thing. My
for
thing
others, it's a
is
problem
you
for
gotta
others.
talk to somebody.
I
This is gonna
have.
turn into an intervention. We
No. But that's the thing of it. I've gone and talked to the people, and what they've told me is like, you're a jerk. That's what me and my therapist discussed when I was. It was like, you're just a jerk. She was like, you you say what you want to say, you do what you want to do. You don't care what anybody has to think, what anybody thinks of you. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty much where we are with it. So she told me some things, and I went through some things, and it all ended up being like, okay, I know what my problem is.
right.
I'm an asshole. Okay, I get it. Like, I get it. So there are ways that I can try not to be, but
That's that
you know,
Tallahassee in you.
I think I'm okay.
That's
I
that
think I'm okay.
Tallahassee in you.
That's what it is.
Y'all
I know
Tallahassee
what you're trying
niggas.
to say. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say it's the Richardson. I know what you're trying to say.
No. I mean that too. But no. Listen, I remember I grew up thinking that everybody in Tallahassee was just mean. Like mean. Hey, I got one female cousin in Tallahassee, and I always thought she was mean to me. I did. I did. To this day, I thought she was mean to me. This cousin lived in my city. I was the only one here in the family that lived in the city. She would call me. She called me late night to tell me she needed to move a couch. That's my big cuz. I'm going to my female big cuz. I'm going. She wasn't even woke. She put it on the back porch and went to bed. I had to lift this couch by myself. My back hurt to this day from that night. But but no, I always thought everybody in Tallahassee was me. And that's not just the Tallahassee them or those. I know a lot of people who are not family in Tallahassee. Now I do. And I'm like, oh, y'all are asses too.
You
It's a
but
Leon County thing.
for me, it was just I tried to be nice, and I still think I'm a nice person. It's just to a point where I just don't care what anybody. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna do things my way, and my life is okay. So as long as I'm not bothering you or yours, I don't care what you have to say about the way I live mine. So it got to a point where I just didn't care. I saw a lot of things, went through a lot of things, had a lot of experiences, and I was just like, you know what? Don't matter.
Right.
None of it matters. Nobody's gonna care for me like I care for me. So let's go ahead and just make sure that we're always okay.
And that's funny,
And
dude. I've never seen you. I've I've been around you a lot, and I don't know you to be mean to anybody. I've never seen you.
because I'm
I
not
don't know that I've
mean.
ever seen you angry. We've been in fights together, and I don't think you were angry then.
I wasn't angry. I had to do it because I had to do it, but I wasn't angry. I don't nothing. There's nothing that's gonna make me angry because I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
Oh, maybe
I
I need
don't
some of what you
care.
got because I get mad. I'm gonna get mad before I make it home tonight. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Like I will get on 100 and see. I think I'm the opposite side from you. Like I like the feeling of making other people happy. I
Right.
do. I work really hard to make the people around me happy. And then when if I fail, now the logical me knows that it's not my responsibility. Your happiness is not my responsibility.
Right.
Anybody else's happiness is not my responsibility. But if I fail, I have to find something wrong with you. And now that I found something wrong with you, I can never deal with you again. Like I'm done with you. And and it sounds feminine, like women be like, "Oh, my cutoff game is strong." I'm not. I'm just like, and I'm done. I will disappear, but not before I have to get at you because my whole company, Authentic Artistry, my tagline, my motto is exceed expectation.
Mm-hmm.
That means when I go in, if you're expecting this and you're paying for this, I'm going to give you this. Where I get pissed off is that you paid for this. This is what we agreed to. I give you this, and because I didn't give you this, now you're mad. And now I'm pissed off. Now you don't even get this. You get that. You know what I'm saying? And like that's just what it is. So I know I'm telling stories, but listen, we did a gig for a wedding, and they had us do everything. I
Mm-hmm.
hired a saxophone player to come with me, and my homeboy, my keyboard player Trey, he was there, and part of the deal for this wedding was we had a band for when everyone was coming in to sit down. Um, we had a duo, keyboard and saxophone, for a cocktail hour after the
Mm-hmm.
ceremony, and then I got my DJ and me hosting for the reception and the after party. Let's say it was 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock is when the cocktail hour is supposed to start.
Mm-hmm.
My keyboard player, Trey, he's already up there. He's set up ready to rock. The saxophone player is walking around trying to set up a phone so he can record himself playing. Trey looks at him and goes, "Yo, we got to start playing right now." The saxophone player, "Oh, nobody's out here, man. Nobody's out here. We got to do." Trey said, "No, no, 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 no. We got to start playing now. When they get
Right.
out here, because I had already told them, here's the time frame. This is the schedule. This is when we start playing.
Right.
When I tell you on the dot, Trey was playing. Da 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 da. Saxophone player is rolling his eyes, and he looked at Trey and told him, said, "Man, are all of y'all like this?" Talking to him because he knows how I am.
Right.
And Trey was like, "Nah, man, we got hired to do a job. This is what we supposed to do. This is how we gonna do it." Which is why to this day, if that man called me, if Trey called me right now and said, "Hey, I need you right now," I'm gonna be like, "Hey,
Right.
I gotta slide. Let's get canceled, and I'm gonna go help him out." Because
You'll put this on your phone and you're just out the door.
right, but that's the type of stuff because we like to go above and beyond.
Right.
But when you go above and beyond and you get left out or ignored or people don't give you the credit, oh man, I get hot. So I
Yeah.
need to get to where you are as
Yeah.
far
Because I am
as
the complete opposite of that. Because for me, it's I'm never doing it for you. I'm always doing it for me.
right.
And that's where my mentality goes with everything. Like growing up, pops had the choir, so we had to go out there to sing, had to go do it all. There would be times where I get in trouble because I didn't feel like it. So I know I have to do it anyway. So I'm going to just do it for me.
Right.
Not gonna ever do it for anybody else's glory, any of that stuff right there. Like playing football growing up, my coaches would always say, I'm not gonna pat you on the ass when you do good, but I'm gonna smack you in your head when you do wrong. So it's never about the praise. It's never about any of that stuff. It's this is what you're here to do. I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability, and whatever comes of it comes up. So I don't have any expectation of anybody at any time. I've been in trouble for things that I've done. I've been in trouble for things I didn't do. One thing I realized earlier, I'm going to get in trouble. So fuck it. We're going to enjoy life. We're going to enjoy life. You get blamed for things you didn't do. You get blamed for things you did. Either way, you're going to get blamed. You may as well just keep it pushing.
That is
Tomorrow
amazing.
is my motto for real is life happens every day. If you're worried about today, tomorrow's gonna show up and kick your ass. So you may as well not worry about it any of it. Just deal with it.
Oh, I need that on a shirt.
Yeah,
That's
because
dope.
tomorrow's coming. If you're dealing with today's problems tomorrow has its own set of problems. Now it's double. So your best bet be, hey, this shit happened. Damn. All right, let's go. But you got to keep moving forward, and that's always been my mindset of I can't care because if I care about this and then something else happens, I'm gonna be buried under some shit. So instead of
Wow.
letting myself get buried behind some shit, hey, we're just gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna keep it pushing. You don't like me. Okay. You don't like me. Okay. And then we're gonna keep it pushing because you don't
Woo.
have to.
He's a
You're not.
bad boy.
Everybody's not supposed to like you. Everybody's not
True.
supposed to like you. And I say everybody loves Tommy. I'm God's favorite. Everybody loves me. However, I know
But I'm
that's
Tom
not
and Mert's favorite.
God's favorite. Like I've been God's favorite. Like God loves me more than He loves the rest of y'all. I say this all the time, and people tell me I'm
Yeah.
dead wrong for it, but I really do. Like if you know some of the shit that I've gotten away with and been involved with and skated from, you gotta love me more than He love y'all. He has to, because I should be dead, or I should be locked up, or I should be here, there, or the third. But I'm not because He loves me the most. I'm His
Mm.
favorite. You know what I mean? So that's another delusion that I have that people say I need to speak to someone about,
But
but I
that's
don't care.
phenomenal, though. No, 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 no. That's a positive delusion. Like I like that.
So
I,
I'm
I like that.
100% positive. I'm always on a
That's
positive mission. I don't care what's happening in life. This conversation is normally one that's somber, and we're gonna no. Nigga, I'm this guy all the time. You're never gonna
wow.
catch me where I'm down. You're never gonna catch me off. Like, nah, I'm gonna smile all the time. I don't get mad about any damn thing. I don't care if something happens. Damn, let's fix it. We're gonna find a way to fix it, but we're not gonna sit here and dwell on it. Cars break. Dog, I lost my job on May 8th. The people came in and said, "Hey, we're shutting down this department. We're gonna pay you guys until September, but yeah, this is your last day." I've started. I'm, I'm telling my people like, "Hey, I lost my job." Everybody's like, "How you doing? You okay?" I'm straight. Because I know how to sell dope for one. So
Right.
if worst comes to worst, we
I can
we'll,
get this
we'll,
bread.
we'll figure it out. But I always had a feeling like, okay, well, let's just go get another one. I was looking for a job when I found this one, so let's go get a job. Applied for a couple jobs. The same day I was, they told me to leave. I just applied for a couple jobs before we got kicked off the system. 2 weeks later, I'm looking for a job every day. 2 weeks later, they give me two interviews. I bag one of the jobs. So now it's a month out. I got another job. I've been paid the entire time, so there's no need to stress any of that. So I'm basically saying I worked for 3 weeks, and then I took a week off and started back working July 11th. So it was like they were like, "Oh, you had a month off." No, I was humping. I was hustling. Those first 3 weeks, it was all about finding work. That last week, when I realized I had secured work, all right. So now we're just moving into the next thing. There's never a downtime. There's never a woe is me. Like woe is me don't work.
Right.
Pity parties don't work for me. Like man, I like stripper parties. I don't like pity parties, man. Like I don't get down with the bull. Like I got some friends that are going through some life changing things, and they call me and tell me about, well, this is happening and this is happening, and instead of me getting down with them and be like, yeah, that's messed up. No, no, what we gonna do next? What we trying to do? All right, so you need this. Here's some resources to find that. Or you need this. Here's some resources to find that, because the mental health side for me. Again, this is strictly for me, and I cannot tell everybody to work this way. But for me, the mental health portion is knowing everything's going to be all right. That's that psychology that I have about myself. Is no matter what, it's going to be all right. We're going to figure it out. Let's keep it moving. Stay positive.
Well, I
Positive.
think, listen, man, everybody needs a you. Everybody needs a you.
I'm gonna keep it a bean with
But,
you. Man. Keep it a whole
but
bean.
I also think everybody needs a me because, like, like I don't. I work, and I know this is gonna sound stupid, but I work really well when I'm not supposed to win.
Mm,
I like that, and I do it every day. I got when I started authentic artistry. Well, when I went into it full time, I left my job at the end of 2019. End of 2019.
right.
I was booked out through the end of the summer of 2020. I had gigs, I had all this stuff coming, and I told myself I'm going full time. Then
Call the
March
pandemic.
came, COVID came around. I was like,
Lockdown.
oh Lord. But remember, we was only thinking it was going to be like a few weeks.
Right.
And in that few weeks, I was working at a music school, and the owner of the music school came to me, and she goes, "Hey, the landlord's wanting us to get back started again, but I don't feel comfortable. I don't know. Would you like to purchase the school?" I just went full time.
Right.
Sure, I'll do that. So we worked out something. I didn't have to come out of pocket with a lot of money to purchase the school,
Mm-hmm.
but it looked like an older school. So I bought a bunch of paint. I got busy. I painted walls. I threw up my logo on the wall. Did all this stuff. This is all March,
Right.
April, May, June. Hey, we still can't do nothing. My kids were stuck in Georgia. I'm here just spending money like I got bread. And bro, do you know? And we tried to go online. And if you've never taken drum lessons online, it's very difficult without the right equipment. So we didn't know how to do all this stuff. So we were closed. I had no revenue for this business until maybe November, December of 2020. And
Mm-hmm.
even at that, that was a little bit here, like outside gig, out this, that, whatever. But what I did during that time was I learned how to do this. I learned how to get streaming together. I learned how to get this stuff, that stuff together. And then I started looking. I got uncles who are having to do church online, and I don't like the way that look. Hey, Unc, I'm on my way to you. And I
Yes.
put in those skills to do that. And because I did that during COVID, now there's plenty of people who call me like, hey, I need some help with this or I need some help with that. Can you come help me? But during that time, there was no way.
Right.
There was no way. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm going to get this bread. I got to wipe. My kids are stuck in Georgia. I can't get them back home. My wife just started another job as a nurse, and so she's starting work from home. Like her introduction to the company was sitting on the
Right.
couch in the living room. But then she's looking around the house. So during that same time, I tore up my kitchen. I installed new cabinets. Ask me if I ever installed cabinets before. Hell no. But we
You went to
installed new
DC
cabinets.
first.
Ask me if I ever did flooring before. Nope. She went to the store, came home one day, all the carpet was gone, nigga. I'm no hands and knees. But you know what? I had to do something because while everybody else around me, well, this business, small businesses, don't worry. You'll get this money, you'll get that money. Not if you started in 2019, you won't.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I hadn't paid no taxes yet. But
Can't
that
get
that
PPP now.
pressure, I love it. Now I complained the whole time. Not gonna lie to you. I did not do Tommy. I did not go, hey, whatever's whatever. You know what I mean? Today's problem, tomorrow's problem. No, all them problems was together, nigga. That was that was these were all my problems. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
you needed some counseling. You need to go see a psychiatrist. She could gave you some reason.
Exactly.
She probably gave you a joint and told you to chill out.
Probably I would have had my medical card by then. But what I'm saying is, and just to speak to that, you and I handle stressors and trauma differently, right? Not better, not worse, differently. Although I think mine is better. Mine is a little bit more dangerous. Mine's a little bit more dangerous for me
Definitely more dangerous.
because I'm
Definitely.
liable to slap somebody if I get to that point.
Right. You can have a mental health breakdown and be in prison.
This is true. Be in prison and not have long term mental, have an acute episode, and now all of a sudden I'm sitting in jail. You're right. You're right. Yours might be a little bit better.
A
But
little
listen,
bit. A little bit.
the thing that we have in common, you're a man, I'm a man. Listen to these stats, bro. And I got these stats pulled up from 2021. Suicide is the 11th leading cause of death in the U.S. 48,183 Americans died by suicide. Comparatively, it's a large number, but compared to the total population, not much. Until you realize that 1.7 million attempted suicide.
Crazy.
That's
Crazy.
bananas. The suicide rate was 14.04 per 100,000 individuals. Middle-aged white men, and this is the thing, I want to ask you about this right here. These stats kind of threw me a little bit. The rate of suicide is highest in middle-aged white men. In 2021, men died by suicide 3.9 times more than women. That's almost 4 times as much as women.
And these
Men
are
killing themselves.
2021 stats.
These are 2021 stats.
So you realize that 2019, 2020, COVID-19 had these guys had to stay at home with their wives for a whole year.
Oh no!
All them jobs sending the wives home, man. Dude, like, man, I got to go, man. She was
I'm out of here. But it was white men. Black men was getting extra home cooked meals and stuff like that.
When the white dudes realized they really didn't like their old lady.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, man. You can't eat string bean casserole but so many
Exactly.
times a week.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
But
That-
real talk, white males account for 69.68% of suicide deaths in 2021.
yeah,
That is bonkers. How, and I don't want to sound insensitive. I'm just going to say it. How do you own every damn thing and you're still that depressed? I have my opinion. I have my thoughts about that. And I think white guilt is real.
I don't think it's white guilt. I think it's the fact that white men, they always say we're under attack now.
Yeah.
We're asking them to be held accountable. And some of them, when they have to be held accountable to certain things, they can't take it. So it's better to just check out. Because now the women are saying, hey, you can't treat us this way. The colored folks are saying, you can't treat us this way. The kids are saying, you can't treat us this way. I did say colored folks.
You did say colored folks. Yeah.
That's what they call you. But yeah, so black folks saying we're not having it anymore. And we're taking them to task about a lot of the things that they were getting away with scot-free.
True.
So now it's like, I don't want to live in a world where I can't do X, Y, and Z to these people. Like there's just certain things that they're losing a lot more. You have these recessions and that sort of thing that start taking away their funds, and that takes away a piece of their power. And without the power, they don't know how to survive.
Yeah.
And for black men, it's been a thing of, hey, we're on the come up. So I've been down. If I come up and I got to go back down again, then all right, I think I'll be able to make it. Now,
Right.
I'm not saying that we don't kill ourselves because we do this. We do the same thing.
That's true.
Especially when we get a little bit of change in our pockets. We don't. I guess that unchecked power, but there's just something about the struggle that we've been through our entire lives that give us that little bit of fortitude that says, I'll make it another day. But you have these guys who haven't been through much, and then when some adversity does finally hit, it's the end of the world.
You know what? I used to tell kids, don't use a permanent solution for a temporary problem.
Indeed.
And one of the things is like, think about your worst day ever. And inevitably would think of a day other than the day we were on.
Right.
And it's like, if you survived that, and that was the worst day ever, then obviously today can't be the worst day ever.
Right.
So you survived that, you'll survive this one.
You survived every one of your worst days.
Absolutely.
Make it to the next.
Every day.
Try to top that worst day. Try to make one even worse than that and survive that one. How about that?
Yep. Man.
But yeah, it's just one of those situations, man, where the suicide rate is crazy, and I'm understanding now that it's a lot of times an imbalance that causes, and it's not just cowardice. And I know I made the joke before, but it's not just cowardice that causes people to take their lives.
True.
There is something inside of them that they can't handle, they can't deal with, they can't put their finger on to say, how do I fix it? And it just becomes jumbled up in there. And it's like, I just don't want to be here anymore. Life's not worth it. Life is not worth the next day. It's not worth getting better. It's not worth the family that I have. It's not worth the friends that I have. And it's scary to think that it can actually come to that, because I've never in my life experienced a day that made me feel like I don't need to be here tomorrow. And even me,
That's weird.
I'm a guy. I'm like, I don't have any kids. I got a wife, but I have no kids. I have nothing that's like stamping me and rooting me to be here. It's just like, I just like being here every day. I like I
I
like to see
like
what's
that.
going to happen next. I like to see what's going to happen next. And I would always say, like, if you ever see me dead and somebody say I killed myself, go find the motherfucker that murdered me. But
Yes, sir. Yes,
that's
sir.
never happened. That's
Hey, look
never
at man.
happened. Oh yeah.
I don't care how bad things get. I'll stay right here in it. I don't
Nah,
want to
'cause
go. I
tomorrow's
don't want
gonna
to
be
leave.
better. Tomorrow's gonna be better. Like, there's nothing I'm that afraid of that I got to check myself out from. Like, I
Right.
don't do anything that bad to where I've got to hide from anybody, and I'm disgracing anybody. Like, I've done all my disgracing. If I was gonna kill myself, I'd have done it a long time ago. I've done all my disgrace. All my disgrace shit is out of here. I'm good now. I'm good. So that ain't gonna be a reason for me to die. I don't have no money. Well, shoot, I know some people with some money. They'll hold me down long enough for me to catch some change. So people love me. I'm an asshole, of course, but they love me because I'm an asshole. They love me in spite of me being an asshole. So that ain't gonna be it. Like, I got people that love me. I can always have some money, and I haven't disgraced anybody. I think me and my medical condition is okay. I think we're okay up there now. If I find some traumatic brain injury or something like that that causes me to lose myself, I'll go put myself in the padded room and we'll be okay. But I'm not gonna do it to myself.
I'm with you. I'm telling you now. After working in behavioral hospitals, I feel like I could go. Now, there's one other side to the behavioral hospitals. This is the part that I did not like. So they call codes, and you're there. And my thing is I don't want to re-traumatize somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You're already here against your will. You're in here for 72 hours at a minimum in Florida, and you're here because you may have said something to somebody, a teacher at school, and
Mm-hmm.
they thought, you know what, maybe we need to get you some help. So you're here, but you're right next door to someone who's screaming and fighting and trying to kill themselves.
Right.
That's traumatic.
Yes.
And one thing that I saw a lot of, and I think our guest kind of alluded to it, it becomes avant-garde to have these things. I watch a group of young ladies go from one young lady who literally was trying to kill herself. And when I
Mm.
say trying to kill herself, I mean I walked in her room. She had busted the hard plastic around the light that we had to have in the bathroom.
Oh
She had
wow.
found a way to break that, gotten a piece, and slit both of her wrists. I picked her up off the floor out of the bathroom,
Sheesh.
bleeding. And she was trying to get out of here. But that attention for her down the line. So now I'm looking at these girls who are cutting their arms, not cutting
For
their
attention.
wrists, cutting their arm, and doing things like that. Like, oh, I just want to die. I was trying to die. And I say this like I'm delicately. I don't think you were trying to die. I think you needed somebody to talk to. and that was a definite way to get it.
And that's the problem that I also have with some of this. And like you were saying, it's the people who will fake these mental situations, these deadly mental situations for attention.
Right.
You have a different mental situation going on. You and especially in this social media age, like the the clout chasing that I think they call it clout. It's clout chasing, right? That's what
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
called.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. When they're begging for attention, like I knew a doctor. There was a lady that came into his office. She would slit her wrist, and she would come in too often. He got sick of her coming into his office. So instead of her cutting it horizontal, he told her, "If you really want to die, cut it vertically."
Yep.
Because he understood like this is an attention thing, and you need to go see those doctors over there instead of coming in here bothering me in my office. So it's just certain situations where people just crave the attention.
Yeah.
They have people that will actually sit there and listen to you, and I'm kind of glad the internet came out now because now you can talk to nobody and everybody all at the same time
Right.
instead of having to sit in your little corner and not have anybody on your side. You can find somebody who has every single fetish that you have on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you can find your people, you can find your person, or whomever it is. So I'm good. I'm
Ask me
glad for
how
the
I know.
internet. I'm not going to ask you that. I'm gonna ask you that. But I'm also glad that it also bothers me that the internet allows people to feel left out of certain things. And I'm like, there's you can find your group, but you have these kids these days with these social media followings, and you're allowing people to bully you on your phone. You're allowing them to bully you on your page. Like you're having somebody tell you to kill yourself, and you actually consider doing it because they wrote it on the internet.
You didn't say anything funny, but when when you said that,
Made you think
you
of
ever,
it. Made you think
you
of
ever saw that Ali Sadiq stand up when he said,
it.
I think in that Ali Sadiq voice, he said, I think that parents who have children who are being cyberbullied are raising weak ass kids. He said, I don't know what they said, but I don't know what it is about your baby. That just what do they think's gonna happen if they close the computer? Like, don't be closing the.
But
That's not funny, but
the thing is, it's not just the kids; it's adults that are saying they're being bullied. And I understand this might be the Republican in me calling y'all snowflakes, but ooh,
here you go.
if y'all got their Democrats don't get up off of Twitter with y'all fuckery, man, you won't.
Why your president don't get off of truth
That's the thing of it. Y'all wouldn't let me play on X no more, so I had to go make my own.
and got all
No,
the way over there and just look stupid by yourself? So we
but
gonna
I
mute
tell you,
everybody else, and I'm just you know what we not talking about? Yeah,
I
we are.
got I got bullied by Republicans myself. I got
Sure.
kicked out of each and every Republican chat room that I was in. They called me a rhino because I understand bullshit when I see it, and
Right.
I won't buy into everything. But all I'm saying is like there's a problem with our nation and this whole being letting someone bully you. Like I go on the internet and within a I went back on Facebook once we were getting this started.
Right.
Within 30 days of being there, I was mad. I'm like, y'all got me
No, no,
going here.
no, no, Mister Calm, Even Keel. You can't be mad about
Okay,
it.
okay, okay. Not mad, but I'm like, I'm
I
an
saw your
asshole.
post.
I'm an asshole. I'm like, y'all got me out here talking down because people are stupid.
True.
I ain't mad at you for being stupid, but I'm not gonna just let you sit there and be stupid. And then I realized, like, why? Why can't I just let people be stupid? It's not in me to do. It's not in me. When I see stupid, I'm gonna say stupid. I'm
Right.
sorry. When I see stupid, I'm gonna say stupid. But it was like, okay, social media is a horrible place. It's a
It
horrible.
is.
If you maybe you've seen this before, but they were like certain ones of us rode the short bus, some of us rode the regular bus, but now they got us all in the same bus. Like social media has some of y'all. Some of y'all went to lunch real early. Y'all need to
Yeah.
get on. Y'all should get on the internet real early and leave the rest of it for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I tell people all the time. I'm like, research is research. Now, I'm not one that says, "Oh, well, if you got it from the internet, you didn't research." You can find the wealth of human information, all human knowledge is right here.
Everything.
The problem
Everything.
is there are no teachers
To guide
on
you.
here. So, what did they do when you got a history book in school and you opened it up and you read Columbus discovered America? You're like, wait a minute, something don't seem right about that. And then someone got that information. You repeated that information to someone who said, well, not really. And then they
Right.
explained to you what it was. There are no explanations online. These
Mhm.
niggas are just on here saying craziness, and because it goes unchecked, I knew it was a problem. Did you know that Wikipedia, you don't have to have no degree, you don't have to have no special password. You can just edit shit.
Yes, yes. Wikipedia is that's why it's not allowed in colleges. You cannot use that as a source
Nigga.
in school. Right.
You I'm
Because
going, you know what I want to do? I'm just gonna go and see how much stuff I can change and how long it stays changed before somebody catches it.
it's normally a couple hours. Somebody's going to be looking through it. You got to find some like obscure something and just change it to see because nobody from Wikipedia is looking. They simply ask you. They're crowdsourcing everything.
Right.
They're crowdsourcing it all. Hey, give us some information, and then they ask you for $1 every year around this time. So if you go on there right now, they're probably going to ask you for $3. But
Soon as it come up, soon as it come up, hey, listen, we don't normally we keep this free,
Amen.
but let me get some of that.
You
I
got three
mean, you got
dollars.
some?
You
You got
got three
some?
dollars. Yeah, they like the crazy person. But that's another thing that getting back to our subject
Yes, sir.
of mental health. A lot of times we like to look at the mental health disorders and be like, oh, they on drugs. Drugs do fry brains, but some brains just fry before they get to the dope.
Yeah.
But we like to say everybody's just a drug addict. A lot of these people on the side of the road talking to themselves, they were good people. They just had some situations that didn't get treated. And then they try to medicate it with harsh drugs. That's why I say don't do cocaine. But smoke your joint. Don't do cocaine. Don't do
But
cocaine.
you got to remember, dude, you're
Cocaine, reefer is not a gateway drug.
no, no, unless you have mental health issues and the reefer don't work for you.
That's it.
Then
That's
you're going to search for, and that's why I'm real careful because
they got
like
some really, really good reefer nowadays. They got some
they do.
really, really good rules. Really, really
So I've
good
heard.
rules. Yeah.
I don't
I
smoke weed
haven't
no more.
smoked in a long time. I haven't smoked in
I
a
don't.
long
Right.
time.
I'm like,
No,
we on
no,
here
no,
talking junk. Like I don't.
no.
I haven't smoked in forever.
Right.
But
And I got a car. I got a card and all, but I don't smoke. Like,
I don't
but
have
but
a car. I need one.
yeah, because just in
Yeah.
case, something
But
happens.
here's the thing. When you okay, so back in the probably 6, 7 years ago, a lot of people was getting into spice. You ever heard of this spice?
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah.
this was pretty much a bunch of different names for that synthetic weed that was in the gas stations
K
for a
two.
while. K2.
Mm-hmm.
So this girl was I was. It's
Oh
not
Lord.
funny, but
Oh
it's
Lord.
hilarious.
Oh
I'm
Lord.
sitting at the behavioral hospital. I'm in the car on the phone with my wife, and I'm looking at the door, the front door to the place I'm on break. The front door to my unit is right there. I'm in the parking lot. All of a sudden, there's a white light just flashing over the door, and I'm like, that's odd. The next thing I saw was the door flew open, and out falls this little girl. Well, she wasn't so little. She was a teenage girl. Two ladies in hijabs and my
Mm.
boss. All of them in a big heap fall out the door. I'm on the phone with my wife. I was like, I'm going to
You
have to
gotta
call
go.
you back. So I get up and I run over there. My boss is yelling at me, do not touch her. She's not admitted. Don't touch her.
Oh.
And I'm like, what's going on? Then, of course, the alarm has been pulled. We're very close to a theme park, so fire trucks, police, everybody show up real fast. Now this room is full. In this room, like little lobby,
Mm-hmm.
is my boss, two women in hijabs, this girl, three firemen, me, two police officers in a very small space. This girl is sitting in the middle of the floor like this, like, oh my God. I walked through all of them. I grabbed her by the hand and I looked her right in the face. I said, if you want them to leave, come with me. She grabbed my hand and she walked with me. And everybody's standing around like, I said, all right, I got it. And then she walked in. Her parents, the two ladies in the hijabs was her mom and her aunt or something like that. And they signed her in. And this young lady had been trafficked
Oh wow.
and started out smoking spice, like smoking K2. And she was out of her mind. This young
Yeah.
lady walked out in the hallway, thought she was pregnant with Jesus, not by Jesus, with Jesus. And she
Man.
walked out in the middle of the hallway and goes, I'm about to give birth, and grabbed a pencil and was like this. Ugh,
Oh
and was ready to pull it across.
no.
Like she was not there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she smoked the weed. She started hanging with dudes who was smoking weed. The dudes give her the K2 because we ain't got money to go get weed. And you could go, back then, you could go to the gas station
Corner
and
store. Yeah.
my dude would be like, no problem, buddy. And he'd give
Yeah.
you, you know what I mean, whatever. So, and they kept saying it was, oh, it's the same as weed, it's the same as weed. It's not. It's
No.
not.
No.
So,
Synthetic weed.
right. So that reaction came from that. So when people say weed is a gateway drug, it's not.
It's not.
It's
It's
only a gateway drug when you're trying to self-medicate and it doesn't work. And
yeah.
that's my take on it, my opinion on it.
When you need something else, or when you
Right.
let somebody else introduce something else
Right.
into it. And but again, I've just been one of those ones where nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Give me a drink. But I started so early, and I think that took a lot of the pressure off of all the other shit. Because I'm like, as a
You said at
student,
11?
yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
got me beat.
yeah. Because I sucked as a student, so it was like, nah, I can smoke some reefer.
I
No problem.
wish. I sucked as a student too, but I ain't getting no weed at 11.
Um,
Golly, nigga, I missed out.
yeah, yeah.
I probably
It
got there
definitely
like
won't.
16.
Yeah,
No, I was much earlier. 14, 15. Yeah, somewhere in
yeah. I remember the day. That's a story. That's a story.
there.
That's a story for off air.
Indeed.
I told y'all day one. I'm not gonna tell y'all the real me. I'm not gonna tell y'all
Too
about
late,
this.
nigga. You already done said that you started smoking weed at 11 years old.
Yeah, that's common now. Everybody knows that about me.
Nigga, I
Oh,
didn't. I mean, I knew it was early, but I didn't know it was 11 early.
yeah. It was the first week of sixth grade, man. But that day,
God. Y'all niggas in Tallahassee. I told you, bro. I told you, bro.
but I tell you that day though, how it happened. Ooh, oh,
Off air. Off air.
yeah, yeah. You'll be here in a couple of weeks, and we'll talk about that. But it's just one of those things where, for me, again, just seeing people go through their mental health struggles, seeing people with the anxieties, and like, okay, working in call centers. I've worked in call centers a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll see people who have these breakdowns once a customer's yelling at me.
Oh, Jesus.
What do I do? Oh, because they're not allowed to lash out like they normally would. So it's one of those things where I'm used to the streets, and somebody yells at me and says these words to me, I get to go and choke them. But I have to
Wow.
get this check. So now I'm in here and I do not know how to deal. So it's a lot of heavy breathing and crying and all that stuff. And I'm just like, that kind of stuff that's a mental health disorder. You have to be able to deal with stresses other than violence.
God, dog.
But
That's real.
you have not learned how to deal with reality of life because the way that you are used to doing it, you can't do that everywhere.
Yo,
You're now at an age where that won't work for you.
you have just enlightened me. Like you don't understand. Like I never looked at it like that. Now I've
You've
used
seen
that.
it,
I've taught that. I've taught like you have to have multiple coping skills because you're not going to be able to do every
right?
coping skill in every situation.
But that is something inside of your head that the only thing I have is violence, and if I don't have violence, and you freak out
Yeah.
because you don't know how to deal with anything else. You don't know how to deal with life.
Wow.
That's something that a counselor is needed for. That's something that you need to go and see someone for. They have these alternatives that you have. You may need to go and breathe. You may need to go and smoke. You may need to go and play some music. You may need to sing yourself a song. And that's what with She Speaks. They're presenting all of these alternatives that you can try out. Oh, maybe yoga is going to be the one thing that brings you down. Maybe it's you need a massage. Maybe you need whatever it is. Like, but again, we don't know because we've always been taught go talk to somebody. I don't want to talk because if I get mad at them, I'm going to want to fight them.
Right.
So maybe I don't need to say something to somebody. Maybe I just need to be in a quiet space. Maybe I need to go play in some dirt. Maybe I need to go and go swim some laps, go run something else.
Well,
And
but here's the thing: you're gonna have to communicate in some way because right now, what you and me are talking about are alternative coping skills to deal with life stressors.
right,
But you don't know to try different coping skills unless somebody like She Speaks can introduce you to these. Oh,
right, and, and,
and
that, and that's what I meant by you don't need to go talk to somebody. Like every time you get angry, you don't need to go sit and talk to somebody.
right,
You
right.
need to speak to somebody who tells you, "Hey, when you get upset, try this, try this," and you'll find out something that actually works for you. It actually may be you sitting and talking to somebody, or it may be you taking a pill, but sometimes it might not be.
I think a lot of times it might not be. I think a lot of times we can get through things. Breathing exercises are as ridiculous as I look sometimes. I will get in my car by myself, and before I pull off, I have to,
Get that woosah
because
going,
if I don't,
woosah.
I'll snap. And
Yeah,
I haven't been in a fist fight in a while, in a long time.
good,
I
good
talk
for
a lot of
you.
junk.
Good for you. I'm
Thank
proud
you,
of you.
thank you. I'm proud of myself. I
Yeah.
I talk a lot. I talk a lot of junk, but I told my sons this. I'm like, I've gotten to the point now where I can walk away. If it's me and you, I can walk away. Me versus you, I can walk away. That dad in me or that husband in me will kick in if my kids are around.
Right.
But if I'm walking down the street and you start yelling stuff from across the street, I'm just gonna keep walking.
Yeah.
I don't have to engage you with that. Now, if you're in the car with me, you may think differently. Because I mean, if I'm driving, I think you was in the car with me, and I'm just like, this mother nigga, I'm not gonna roll the window down and say that because I know that
Right.
just escalates and
Right.
escalates and whatever.
Right.
But sometimes it just feels good to get that out. And for a split second, it played out in my head. Nigga, I just slapped fire from you. You don't know it, but I just slapped fire from you. But
See,
now I realize that music is not that big. Surprise. Music is not that much of a coping skill for me.
because it's in you.
It's me.
Different.
Right. Right.
Different. It's different.
I would do hip hop. I would go out and do a rap show in Tampa, in Ybor City. On stage, rah, 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 rah. I get in the car. I'm listening to talk radio. Even right now, when I get in my car, I listen to interviews. Today has been Neil deGrasse Tyson all day.
Oh wow.
Every time I got in the car, I was watching Star Talk or Cosmos or something like that, interview stuff with him. Um, Earlier this morning, I took my wife to work, and she's like, "Oh my God, so aggressive!" Because the first thing I was listening to was Stephen A. Smith, and he
Mm.
was like, "You can't do," and she's like, "It's so aggressive." I'm like, she said, "So early in the morning for aggression." I'm like, "You don't understand.
Yeah.
He gets to be aggressive, so now when I run into somebody, I don't have to be that. Now I can be like,
Right.
Good for
my
you.
introduction, like I've been talk radio since God, it's been forever.
Yeah,
And it started with Rush Limbaugh.
I bet it
That
did.
is my spirit animal. Rush Limbaugh on
So your
loan
spirit
from
animal is a
God.
jackass.
Yes. My very first cell phone I had, you remember back in the day, you used to be able to put a little tagline at the bottom of your
Right.
text messages. It was on loan from God. Got that from Rush Limbaugh. This had to be 16,
I
18
remember
years
that
ago.
tagline. You still use that
Yeah.
sometimes on loan from.
On loan from God, man. It's the Rush Limbaugh has been my like that has been that's what made me want to do radio. That's what made me want to start talking to people and because
I'm sorry,
you
that's just crazy.
it's exactly like you wonder like how the hell that's what had me voting for HW. That's what had me voting for HW that first time. He told me that John Kerry was a pussy and I believed him. And and H.W. Bush got my vote. I mean, George W. Bush got my vote. I'm sorry, I wasn't old enough for H.W. But W got my vote, man, because it was me and Rush, man. And Rush was on. I was driving around delivering mail, so I would be able to listen to Rush for hours at a time. And I was like, he's hilarious. He's got these people that believe every word he says. He doesn't believe any of the shit he said. When that guy said, yeah, when these called the trans people, like they had chopodictomy and an addictomy. Oh, that was the funniest thing I had heard in years. Once Barack started running for office and they played Barack the Magic Negro, bruh, that was the funniest crap I had heard in years.
Nigga.
Go look up Barack the Magic
I've heard
Negro.
of this. I've heard this. I never listened to it
Negro
because I wouldn't
is
get mad.
ABC. Yeah, go find that. Like these are things that made me understand. Like, oh, radio's dope. And then radio started dying, and these podcast things then came up. So I started a podcast back in 2009, 2010. Started a podcast, and then I just got. I didn't have anything else. I didn't have anything for it.
Mm.
So got with Cuz, and Cuz was like, let's do it again. So I'm like, now we back. And I'm like, some of those same things that I enjoyed about it before, bring that joy back to me. So I don't necessarily have to go talk to a counselor or psychiatrist anymore. I talk to y'all.
But
And
see,
half the
but
time
that's
I
because
forget.
you've
Half
already
the time I
found.
forget. Yeah, and I forget I'm even talking to y'all half the time. I'm just talking to my cousin, like I said before. So it's like these are my therapies here. Being able to laugh at all of y'all. I go on and I find the darkest shit on the internet. I go and look at some of y'all's kids' pictures. I go and look at some of the posts y'all make, and I laugh at y'all all day long. Like y'all keep me out of therapy.
And then he sends it to me, and I laugh at y'all
Yes,
too.
yeah, yeah. Like my cousins group. We have a group meet. Like I've been dissing in that for a minute because I have been going through some things, but again, it's not something that's going to slow me down and keep me down. It's just one of those situations where, like, hey, man, we're gonna keep life moving. We're gonna keep it moving. But we have a group meet with my cousins, and like all day, every day, you go in there, and it could be 100 messages in there in the next 10 minutes
Yep.
because we bounce those things off of each other. We have those situations where we can. That's our safe space. So if something is going wrong, we're able to go in there and talk it out, as opposed to whatever else. And when you realize at a young age, like we don't really need nobody else. We don't have to have no other friends. These are my favorite people on the fucking planet anyway. So I don't really need any of you guys. So anybody who didn't like me on the outside, I don't care. I got these. And it's always been that way. I came down to Palaca with you guys. Hey man, what we need to who we hanging out with, y'all? It's us.
Us,
We
right?
go play football, it's us against whoever. We go play basketball, it's us against whoever.
Whoever.
And I'm like, these are the people that y'all go to school with, but it don't matter. I'm here now. I'm on your team. Let's go. We got them. So having that family that we have, that we don't need those outsiders. When somebody else comes up and says something negative, your opinion didn't matter in the first place.
Right.
So why would I let it bother me at all? Because you're the most irrelevant fuck of the day. So let's keep it pushing. And I think those things that I had around me to embrace me. Like I said, my father had the choir. It was 300 some odd kids. These were my other cousins.
Yeah.
So anytime I went anywhere, hey, these my folks. So it never really mattered what anybody outside had to say to me because these motherfuckers think I'm live, so I'm live. And nobody else's opinion mattered. And
Right.
then again, it got to the point where even when I would be in trouble, I don't care. I'm that nigga. So just keep it pushing. And I'm glad I had those types of things around me. My father always being there, letting me know, hey man, did it hurt you physically? Nah, then why you crying about it?
True.
Don't need to cry. There's no need to be crying. And it wasn't that man shouldn't cry shit. Nah, he understood, man. Sometimes you're gonna cry, but hey, bro,
Not over this.
yeah, tighten that up, boy. That ain't it. That ain't the one.
Listen, I think you and I both. I mean, your daddy is my daddy's oldest brother, so them lessons. I remember when I first got married, and I was really happy because when I was growing up, my mom and daddy were very adamant because my grandparents would let me get away with murder.
Yes, they did.
And so my parents were very adamant, my mom specifically was very adamant that I said, you ain't gonna get this, so you ain't getting it. I don't care what they said. You get, and I try and finagle around. You know what I'm saying? Well, when I got married and my first son, my oldest son, my mom is a different person. You seen that Cosby comedy special where he was like, these are not the same people. These are old people trying to get to
Right.
heaven now? That's them. And so I was barking at the house, at my parents' house. I said he can't have this, he can't have da 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 da. My dad pulled me to the side, and I'll never forget it. He said, "You the man of your house, right?" "Yeah." "And so what you say goes, right?" "Yeah." He said, "So why are you yelling about it?
Mm.
If you're in charge, you don't have to. People
You
who are
don't
in
have to,
charge don't have to yell that they're in charge,
exactly.
bruh."
Exactly.
And he said, "Now you can go in there and you can make this all stop. You can end it all. You can say one word and it's over. But is this what you want to fight about?
Right? Is this the hill you want to die on,
Is this where
son?
you want to die?" He did the same when my wife was pregnant. She wanted a hot dog. This is my first baby. The doctor said no processed meats. My wife wanted a chili dog from Checkers. I'm not getting you no chili. We are hard down arguing over a chili dog. My dad came home. My wife was in the driveway crying. What's the problem? He go to her. I'm his son. She go to her.
Nigga,
He
you
go
don't-
come back to me. He goes, "Here, go get her a hot dog. I got money. I'm not getting no hot dog." "Go get the hot dog." I went to the
So now he done
Chili's.
pull rank. Now he done pull rank.
Bruh, I went Checkers, not Chili's. I went to Checkers. I grabbed the chili cheese dog. I came back and I was walking in my mind. She was about to wear that chili cheese dog. I was getting ready to throw this joint. My dad met me at the door, took it, and handed it to her. My wife, like a puppy, sat there, ate a chili cheese dog, looking at me while my dad protected her. But those are lessons that we learned. Was like, look, is that worth it? You
Is
want
it
that
worth
fight?
it?
Of all the things to fight about, is that what you want to fight about?
And it's
Of
crazy.
all the things.
It's crazy people that decide to have that fight. You got to be out your mind to have that damn fight.
Right. But at the moment, I'm nuts. Because
you
I
ain't gonna-
said he couldn't have the popsicle, and this lady who would yell at me about taking popsicles from my grandparents gonna be that grandparent now after you heard me say no. And then you was in the doctor's appointment with me when the doctor told you, looked at you in the face, you shouldn't have processed meat. I don't know Chinese arithmetic, but I know processed food.
Shouldn't have. He said shouldn't have. He said can't.
Right. So, but those are lessons that I learned. Let me calm down. I'm mad about it all over again. But go to the house and wake up. Hey,
Now you
hey,
gonna go
you
throw
remember that
some chili
time
at
with
the
that chili
woman.
cheese dog?
Now you're going to throw some chili at the one when you get home.
Keep in mind that kid is be 18 in February.
Right.
So. But that's the thing. We learned those lessons because we had role models. Number one,
Right.
we had
right.
real men who had real integrity that
And-
could
and-
do real
and they
things.
will protect us from ourselves and
Yeah.
guide us through certain situations. And I understand everybody doesn't have that. And you
Right.
have a lot of folks who have these childhood traumas that they bring into their adult lives. Mama, daddy issues and that sort of thing. And those are things that I did not have. Like, I understand, like, I don't think my mother liked me until I was like 15 years old. Straight up and down. I don't think she liked anybody under the age of 15, actually.
Right.
I,
Yeah.
I really didn't. I really didn't. But there was a
Mine
point
didn't either.
where yeah, but there was a point where it was like it doesn't matter. She's look what she's done. Like it
Right.
don't matter if she likes me or not. Like I saw that scene in Fences, and the boy said like you, and that's what it really got to. I never had that conversation with my mother, but it was like I remember I asked my mother. I was like, "What would you do if I died?" She said, "I'll get over it." And I was like, "Well, damn." I was like, I think I was,
Golly.
I think I was like
I
11, and she was like, "I'll get over it." And it pretty much let me know, like, hey, bro, like she's not the one to be coming looking for sympathy from. Like that's
Right.
not the one that you play that role with. So there's never a time you're gonna see me looking for anybody to care. Like, nigga, I love me, so it don't matter. Like, hey, because what is she supposed to say at that moment? Oh, baby, and make me feel better about doing some stupid shit.
I think I
I
was just
know,
never
nigga, so,
dumb enough to ask my mama that question.
yeah, so let that shit go, nigga. Let that shit go. So
Right.
it's just one of those things where it's like, come on, bro. Like, you're gonna be a man. You gonna have to be a man. But yeah, that caught me for about 2 weeks. I
Yeah.
think it was about 2 weeks where I was like, man, this lady said shit, get over.
Yeah.
It."
Hey, if it make you feel any better, I got 3 sons and 1 daughter. I tell my boys all the time, like one of y'all is expendable. Like I got extras. But if anything happened to my little girl, just don't come home. Like
Oh,
they'll go get my stuff.
she's always the favorite child. So if it was
Always,
Coach Prime, if you coach Prime grade, she's always number one.
always number one. Always number one. There isn't even a question. Ask them. Ask any of them. They know. But it's a tie between her and that little baby.
Grandbaby.
That's it. My grandbaby and my daughter.
Yeah, the
That's
rest
it.
of them. Y'all can fight them.
Everybody else is.
Y'all can fight amongst yourselves for third. We
Y'all
got
can
one.
fight for third if you want to, but it's a tie for first and second right over here. You know why? When's the last time you looked at me and kissed me right on my forehead?
Mm-mm,
Okay
mm-mm.
then. My grandbaby do,
Nigga
but
pull that
but I
Riley
will
up. They pull that
listen.
Riley Freeman on. Nigga, that's gay.
Hey, but I'm gonna tell you like this, real talk, and we can wrap it up. But my daughter the other day, and this is how I know I have become sensitive. My daughter was getting ready to go to some cheerleading thing. She's a freshman, and her shirt was wrinkled. And I said, hey, you gonna run iron over that? You know what I'm saying? And she walked out, and she was going doing something else, and then she came back, and still had that wrinkled shirt on. I said, oh, so we're just gonna leave it wrinkled, huh? All right, okay, cool. She left. My wife went to go take her. My wife came back in the room 5 minutes later. She said she is having a full breakdown in the car, yelling like, "Why does he have to say that? Why can't he say I look nice?" At that moment, sir, I felt like an ass, bro,
No.
because she was in the car
You didn't
and
even see
she
her.
was. I didn't say she looked bad. I said the shirt was wrinkled. And then when she came back, I said, it's still wrinkled. But what she heard from me was she's not pretty enough. I
Right.
said, come back in here. And nobody else, right now, this is the first time anybody knows what was said between me and her. My wife didn't know what I said or nothing. I told her, I said, don't you ever again in your life think that I don't think that you're the most beautiful girl in the world. Those were my words to her. Don't you ever again in your life.
Oh.
I promise you, I said, you know, I got a lot of bullets. I will shoot every person in this world before I let anybody let you feel bad about the way you look. And I said that to her. And my daughter's first date was with me, daddy daughter dance. I
Mm-hmm.
dressed up, I opened doors, I got punched. But, and I'm going to go ahead and admit this too, and she's going to see this. I wasn't the nicest person to my little sister when she was growing up. So I
Of
made
course
fun of
not.
her about stuff, do stuff like that. And then later on, heard how that affected her. And then she got on to me about my daughter and was like, don't make her feel bad about this, that, or the third. And I'm like, you got a point. And so
They
I
told me I
spent
was meeting my little sister, and now that's one of my favorite people in the world. Like my sisters are my favorite people in the world,
right.
along with my mother and my wife. But like these ladies, like even my girl cousins, like man, the people that I was raised around, like these are my favorite people in the freaking world, man.
Yeah.
But can you imagine you trying to walk out of Murder's house with something wrinkled on
I don't think I'd been able to walk.
them? You coming up out that shirt, bro,
You ain't
and like, and you
you ain't
ninja,
going nowhere with me looking all any kind of
right?
way.
You gonna put a crease in them jeans?
Woo, bruh. Iron them so smooth there was a white line down the city. Yum,
Yeah,
nigga.
I'm telling you, man. But yeah, man. So that's another thing. There is like with the youth that we have around us,
Right,
breathing that same kind of love and life into them, and not letting them feel less than about anything. So that way, when they go out in the world and the world tells them one thing, I don't care what the world says. I know he loved me.
right.
Like I said, I don't have no kids. When I got my nieces and nephews, man, I tell my nieces all the time they're the most beautiful. I'm like, I love you to death. Nobody else love you. I love you. Hey, who loves you, baby? Uncle Yubi. That's right. That's all
And
you need.
them
That's
little
all you. That's
and them little
all you need,
girls love their Uncle Yubi.
bruh. I have since day one that those are my babies. So they always know. You may not want to tell your mama. You may not want to tell your daddy. Come holler at your uncle. Like I got you, and I'm not gonna judge you about anything ever. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna figure it out. Just don't. And I've asked them a long time ago. I was like, man, I ain't gonna ask you for nothing else in my life. Just don't lie to me. And they have promised me that we're gonna keep it a main. And I'm like, baby, I ain't gonna. I'm hopefully in my old age you'll take care of me, but I ain't gonna ask you to. I ain't gonna ask you to. I'll do what I gotta do. But I'm like, the only thing I need from you right now is, hey, always be upfront and honest with me, and we can take on the world with that.
Hey,
So
hey, hey. All my nieces and nephews, don't listen to him. Y'all better take care of me. I'm not playing. I am not playing. Look at
you
me.
got
Look at my eye.
kids, man.
Hold on.
Your kids got you. When your kids gonna put you in a home, the boys
Look,
gonna
they
put you
better
in a
not.
home.
I wish you would. Okay, hey, come
The
here.
boys gonna put you in a
Come
home.
here. Let me tell you something. Look at me. Look at me. You better take care of me.
Right.
I'm not playing.
The boys gonna put you in a home, dog. I promise.
Look, I done told my boy, and I told him the same thing. Listen, man, I get up early. I go do these gigs. I'm lifting these drums. I'm playing all this music. I'm running around. And you come to me and say I need $900 to go play 3 games. I swear on everything I am. On everything I am. Look here, hold on. On everything I am. If you end up on TV and they say, well, who you shouting out?
Hi,
And you say,
mom.
hi, mom, I'll
I'm
kill
in
you.
your chest. I'm in your chest.
I'll kill you. Kill you. Dead. Nah, but listen, man. Listen, I want to go over this stuff. We had a lot of fun tonight, man.
We did. We
It
did.
was a blast. It's an important conversation, something that we need to talk about more often, um, take into consideration more often. Couple things that we got, and I just been kind of sitting here taking notes. Um, First of all, if you're going through something, man, hey, take the time to talk to somebody. All right,
Please.
talk to somebody. What you don't have to talk long. You don't have to do a whole lot. Find somebody qualified. Talk to them and try and get some advice on where you can do on your own. Right? Make sure that you find a positive coping skill. Find something that's going to work for you. That's not going to get you in trouble. That's going to help you take your mind and off of what's going on around you, or at least help you deal with what's going on around you in a more positive manner, right? So remember, you've survived 100% of your bad days. You have. Every day that you thought you weren't going to make it through, you made it through. Everything that you thought that was going to destroy you didn't. You made it through, right? Also, you're definitely important to somebody because you're important to me. You're important to us. I don't have to know you. I don't have to have ever met you, but we need you.
To love all y'all.
Absolutely. You matter, all
Amen.
right? So keep that stuff in mind, man. I want y'all to remember. And also, on the other side, man, take the time today, tomorrow, or whenever, man. Speak positivity into somebody else. Take your time. Say something positive about somebody. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't take anything out of you. you can say something positive to someone else, man, and just make that a part of your day. Make that a part of your week.
It
Maybe you
could
don't do
even
it
be
every
me.
day.
It could be me. Say something nice about me.
Right, right. We'll take it.
You can
Comment
make it up. I don't care.
in the
Make something up.
comments. Say something
Please.
nice.
Please.
So listen, Tom, I want to go through these real quick, bro. I want to make sure that we give a shout out to She Speaks
She Speaks
Solutions.
Solutions, man. She Speaks Solutions. Be ready. October 10th, St. Leo's in Tampa. They will be there having an event for the Worldwide Mental Health Day. So please, if you're in the Tampa area, please go out and support. And then October the 14th, they will be at Florida A&M University in Tallahassee, Florida. Come on out to that particular event. I will be in Tallahassee that particular weekend, so come out and check me. Working with the She Speaks Solutions team. Please follow them, Facebook, IG, send emails out, go to the website, register on the website, see the resources on the website, shespeaksolutions.com. We definitely will appreciate that. And we appreciate you, Teena, for coming on.
Absolutely.
Enjoy the information. And hopefully we'll have you back on again. I know they're going to be trying to do some additional things at the start of the year. So we'll be keeping you guys abreast of all of those sorts of things. And even though I make light of a lot of situations, I do want y'all to understand that I do take mental health seriously, and I do want you to get all of the help that you need,
Absolutely.
whatever it may be. And like he posted up there, see somebody. If you have a problem, say something. I don't have all the answers, but I know how to get you in contact with the right people. So even if you're not comfortable with your circle, holla at me. I'm in the you can jump in my DMs. It's okay. Nobody will be mad with you. Hop in the DMs. We can get you some support. We can get you some help. We can get you pointed in the right direction. If not, I will crack some jokes with you. So if you're having a bad day, you can also give me a text message or a call. I'll crack jokes with you all day. I know how to do that part.
Yeah.
It may be inappropriate. More than likely, it's going to be inappropriate. Somebody's going to be missing an arm,
I was going to
but
say
it's going to
maybe
be
it's
hilarious.
absolutely going to be inappropriate. Absolutely going to be inappropriate.
But it's going to be hilarious. So it's
It's
going to
going to
be
be
funny.
funny.
They posted it, so I can make funnies.
Well, listen, man. We
Yes, sir.
appreciate all of y'all stopping by, man, checking us out. Um, one time for the one time, I want to make sure that we do get these in. Shout out to T and J's Lemonade.
E&J's Lemonade, Tallahassee. They'll be at the event on the 14th in Tallahassee, so come check them for sure.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we have Throne Room Apparel, who is a supporter and sponsor of the Let's Get Canceled podcast. If
Yes,
you're looking for
indeed.
anything to wear, remember that's veteran owned and Christ centered. So if you're looking for anything, check out Throne Room Apparel, the Throne Room Apparel on Instagram, and that website is coming soon.
And we probably won't see y'all again until what, the 21st for the live?
Technically, yes. However,
Technically. We're gonna jump in here and
we're
say
gonna have to
something to
pop up
y'all.
on y'all,
We're
bro.
gonna pop up. We're gonna pop up.
Because
But
we got a whole weekend full of games, and I've been on my
we
game.
do.
We got a weekend full of games.
We
We got
do.
games going on right now,
Yeah.
tomorrow. Yeah, so we might have to come back in here like Tuesday or Wednesday to talk about
We'll,
it.
yeah, we'll pop back in. We'll throw some pics out on the pages, and then we'll come and talk about them at some point. But we're gonna be
Absolutely.
gearing up for the show on the 21st, the live
Woo!
in Duval, the Battle of the Sexes.
You don't want to miss it. I can't wait, bruh. When I tell
I
you I've
got a
been
list. I
waiting on
got a list
this,
of questions. Oh, and you saw the text message I sent you from Real Tunes on IG.
I do. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So I saw some things. I was like, yo, you mind if we use some of your comments? He was like, this is what I've been looking for. So we'll have some visuals out there and we'll get some shout out to some black folks. Uh, but
Absolutely.
but yeah, we're gonna let these women and these men discuss life, real life.
They can have it.
Like, hey man, who pays on the first date, man? Who pays on the first date?
Are you asking me?
Nope, nope, never. I'm never gonna. We'll discuss. We'll discuss offline
I can.
again.
I mean, it's real simple. It's easy. It's easy.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Nope,
Would you
it's either.
accept? Okay, we can answer some of the questions.
You
We
said
might
first date. Remember that
first date.
your wording is very specific. First date.
Okay, answer. Who pays on the first date?
The man.
You think so?
Absolutely. You said
What if
first
she
date.
got? What if she? What if she? All right. Would you accept the proposal from a woman?
No,
No.
because I'm a man. What you said the other podcast, I'm a whole nigga. I'm a grown ass man, bro. You ain't getting ready to propose to me. Like, if my wife would have dropped down on one knee talking about will you marry me, I'd have kicked her in the chest.
All right. See, so we gonna see how these women feel about this, man. We got some progressive women. We got
Hey,
a
guess
couple.
what? Guess what? Guess what? I don't care how they feel. Which is why I'm not gonna be giving my opinion
This is why
during
we
this
don't get to talk.
conversation.
Exactly. We just gonna ask the questions and see how the people feel about it. And like I said, if y'all have any questions that you guys want asked to the opposite sex,
Please
let
send them.
us know. Because I've been my inbox has been getting hit a
Yeah,
couple times. Like, ask this one, ask this one. I got a couple written down. I got a couple in my phone. So we're gonna ask y'all's questions. So if you have anything before the 21st, let us know. We're gonna be live 8 p.m. on the 21st. But
woo.
like I say, after the day and tomorrow, we're gonna drop some scores in before then. Before then, I'm not gonna give you an actual date, but we're gonna drop some
Yeah,
predictions in and see if I can get my win streak back after what y'all did to me in
after
that
being
fight.
mollywopped in boxing. Yeah, yeah. It's all
It's
good.
all right.
But you know what? Like you said, we don't got to live in the past. We looking forward. We going into the future. All
We
right.
going to the
So,
future, cousin. And apparently we ain't been canceled yet, so we gotta do this again.
man, yep, got to do another show. Ain't been
All
canceled yet.
right.
Hey, you
All right,
good?
man. I'm good, boss. You good?
I'm good.
All right, man. Love you, boy.
Love
Love
you too, man.
y'all. Get out of here.
Y'all be easy. Peace.